It is actually my pleasure having you here, Romy, and thank you for taking the time to teach our members about these two amazing projects. If you can, please introduce yourself and give us a quick background about yourself.
Sure. So first of all, thank you for having me here. I'm always happy to explain more about the project that we're building and for everybody who wants to learn more about it. I'm Romy. I'm a third-year economics student that have been able to join both Popsicle and Abracadabra Money team. I'm a core team member, and I usually deal with community management, communication, and everything non-dev related, meaning that I don't know how to code, unfortunately, even though I would like, but I can't. And I mainly focus on everything else that's needed, basically. And I do it for both Popsicle and Abra, and I'm also starting to help on Wonderland Finance, if you guys will have a lecture on that farther on.
Yeah. That's amazing to hear because the members were asking before, are you bringing two guys? But they didn't know that you are actually in everywhere. Actually, yeah, basically everywhere.
I met Danny is a friend of family, and he brought me on this project really, really early on when Popsicle was still being, it was not even imagined yet. So I was back in that really, really small core team, and then from there on, I've been able to help him everywhere, basically.
All right, I will translate this quickly.
Sure.
رومي هو حين 3 سنة يدرس ايكونومكس في الجامعة. هو يشتغل عند بوبسيكل ابركادابرا وندرلاند العملتهم تايم. هو دش في التيم مالهم من البداية لأنه هو في عائلة دانييلي هو the founder of all of the project يعني. Okay, so before we start, if you can give us like how big is the team actually between the three projects? Because I know they are bouncing between the three, some people, right?
Yeah. So we basically have different teams for each project, but at the end of the day, most of the main managers are contributing on each one of them together. We have different developer teams. So someone is more focused on Abra, somebody is more focused on Popsicle, and somebody is more focused on the integration of Popsicle and Abra on non-EVM chains such as Solana. But overall, I would say that across developers, non-developers, and marketing designers, we have approximately 20 people working on all three of these projects, and we're expanding fast.
That's pretty good to hear. تيمهم تقريبا يتكون من 20 شخص يتنقلون من البروجكتات منهم في عندهم طبعا الماركتينج اللي مبرمجين والى اخره. Romy, is my voice low or is it fine, by the way?
It's perfect for me. I can hear you perfectly. Is my voice low?
No.
Your voice is perfect.
Cool.
إذا في ناس يسمعون الصوت خفيف تقولون زيدونه، تسوون رايت كليك على اسمي عقب زيدون الصوت إذا تقدرون. Okay, so let's start with Popsicle then. Let's assume that someone that never ever used DeFi and also knows next to nothing about it. How would you explain to him what is Popsicle or what does it do or offer?
So stop me when there's too much and you need to translate because it's a bit of a long question. Popsicle deals with a new asset class called LP tokens. Basically, these LP tokens are tokens that are used on particular platforms called decentralized exchanges to provide liquidity for people to swap between tokens. This happens because there's a big need for privacy in our sector, and people don't want to get KYC'd, or they simply want to use applications that are built directly on Ethereum to swap their tokens, and they can do so in these big decentralized exchanges. The biggest one are Uniswap and SushiSwap. And there are many of these exchanges on many different chains. So there's Trader Joe on Avalanche, there's PancakeSwap on Binance Smart Chain, there's SpookySwap on Phantom, and so on and so on. Basically, what Popsicle does is it deals with everything related to those LP tokens. Now, explain clearly what an LP token is and how it works. It's really, really long. But imagine if you were depositing liquidity for people to trade in, okay? And when you do it, you get back a token, which is a receipt of that deposit. and that token represents how much you are providing liquidity, basically. And every time you make a swap, you receive trading fees on this platform, and therefore the value of your LP token, goes up steadily over time. Now, there are risks such as impermanent loss, which is a really big topic, and I recommend everybody here to just have a read on as many resources as you can, because it's really, really deep, and it's really, really important to understand properly how that happened. But basically see it as the more volatility there is in a market, the more trading fees you get. But at the same time, if one of the two tokens goes up really fast in value or goes down really fast in value, you are losing opportunity cost. And you are therefore you're acquiring more of the token that is not increasing in value, and therefore you're losing more, theoretically.
All right. Let me translate that quickly. فشباب باختصار شديد، الحين انتم تستخدمون منصات مركزيه مثلا باينانس، FTX الى اخره. هذولين نفسهم يقدمون السيوله عشان تقدر تشتري وتبيع. اذا عندك مثلا ايثيريوم تبي تبيعها الى USD، في ناس عندهم USD يبون ايثيريوم والعكس صحيح، فكنا يشبكون بين البائع والمشتري، وفي نفس الوقت هم يحطون بعد سيوله من عندهم فوق الناس سيولاتهم. بس احنا الحين قاعد نتكلم عن decentralized finance، غير مركزيه. يعني انت بتقدم السيوله كلها، وانت بعد بتشبك البائع مع المشتري. فبوبسيكل شو يسوي؟ انت بدل ما تبي تحط خلينا نقول مثلا ايثيريوم ودولار تقدمهم كسيوله، بتحصل ربح من الفيز من التداول. يعني الناس بيتداولون فبيستخدمون الايثيريوم اللي انت حاطه والدولارز اللي انت حاطه عشان يشترون يبيعون. انت كأنك قاعد تكون اللي قاعد تعطي السيوله، فانت قاعد تربح الريفينيو باختصار. فش فائدتها الحين بتقول؟ هو كنا نفس ما قال نيو اسيت كلاس، لا في مثلا اسهم، في عملات. تقديم السيوله تقدر تعتبرها شيء جديد كلش. فيها ريسكها نفس ما قال، اذا السوق متذبذب او فولاتايل ممكن تخسر، لكن مع المدى الطويل انت تربح، تكون رابح. يعني قاعد تاخذ كل العمولات من التداولات وانت تربحها. اوكي so Romy, right now, what is live in Popsicle? So you said that it's being in all chains, but I think this is like the vision, or someday it will. Yeah,
exactly. So right now, the only product that is live on Popsicle is Fragola, Sorbetto Fragola. So, which is only live on Ethereum. Sorbetto Fragola is an LP optimizer on Uniswap v3. What this means is that we focus only on providing liquidity on this new DEX called Uniswap v3, which allows people to choose the range in which they want to provide liquidity. And the tighter the range in which the price is moving, the more fees the liquidity provider gets. Now, what Fragola does, which means strawberry in Italian, just to let you know, it's basically adjusting that range constantly in order to follow the price movement and get the most possible trading fees at every point in time. It does so using a strategy which has been developed by Daniele, which basically follows, depending on where the price is and how volatile the asset is, Fragola's strategy gets wider and narrower in order to get as many trading fees as possible without losing too much on impermanent loss, basically. And this is live only on Ethereum because Uniswap v3 is only live on Ethereum. As soon as there will be DEXs that will use the same technology on other chains, we will for sure move there.
All right, that sounds good. فاللي قاله ان الحين حاليا اللي عندهم في المنصه مالتهم في البوبسيكل شيء اسمه فرايجولا. خلوه ذي في بالكم لان بنرجع له كم مره. فرايجولا باختصار، الحين انا شرحت لكم السيوله في المنصات الغير مركزيه شنو تسوي. تخيل الحين ايثيريوم سعره 4000، اوكي، وانت وفي واحد يبي يشتري بكميه وايد عوده، انت ما عندك هالكميه العوده، بس هو يبي يشتري كميه عوده انه بيحرك السوق. طبعا في الاكسشينج العادي الاكسشينج نفسه بيعطي السيوله، بس انت الحين شلون بتعطي احسن سعر وانت ما عندك وايد؟ فهو ايش قال في بوبسيكل؟ شو يسوون؟ يركزون سيولتك في سعر معين، سعر السوق الحين، بدل ما يكون رينج عالي يكون رينج صغير. مثلا انت تقول ايثيريوم سعره 3900 الى 4100، ركزت كل سيولتك في هالرينج. فالحين اي واحد يبي يتداول وسعره ايثيريوم حاليا في هالرينج، انت بتربح كل العمولات اللي قاعد تصير. الحين في ميزه وايد مهمه في هالشيء، بقولها شيء بالانجليزي قبل اشرح لها لكم. Now the good thing about this, because I'm sure there are some people wondering why wouldn't they just leave their coins in farms? But what differentiates farms and Fragula is that your APR is actually purely from fees. It's
Exactly.
the underlying LP pair. There's no shitcoin. You're not getting any shitcoins.
No.
Yeah.
You're not getting any shit. You're not getting any shitcoin, or you're not getting even. Let's say that you trust. You really like a project and you want to provide liquidity and you want to farm it. When you're farming that particular token, your token holdings gets diluted because new tokens are emitted in order to allow people to still be in the farms, right? While on Fragula, this doesn't happen. It's only trading fees. And that's the reason why our APRs are only projected and are so variable, because they depend solely on the market. The more people trade, the more your APR. The less people trade, the less your APR. But this is extremely useful if you want to provide liquidity to pairs that you like both. So if you like Ethereum and Bitcoin, let's say, you provide liquidity to the ETH BTC pool on Uniswap V3, and over time, you're only going to get more and more of the underlying tokens, minus the impermanent loss, which is something that we have to deal with when we are providing liquidity.
Yeah. So فشباب اللي قال ان ميزه فرايجولا اللي تقارنها بالفارمز الثانيين، مثلا يمكن استخدمتوا بانكيك، يمكن سمعتوا عن سوشي سواب، يمكن سمعتوا عن هالمنصات اللي تحطون فلوسكم يعطونك في عمله الربحيه. الفرق انه في فرايجولا انت ما قاعد يعطونك عمله ما تبيها، لا، انت قاعد يعطونك بالعملات اللي انت حاطها. اذا حاط انت ايثيريوم بيتكوين كسيوله، بتحصل ارباحك في ايثيريوم وبيتكوين اوتوماتيك. ولا فوق كل هاي it's compounded. It's compounded, right, Robbie?
Yeah, it's compounded. Every time we change the range in which we are providing liquidity, we take all the fees and we compound them back in the position.
Yes, exactly. So you don't have to worry about anything. They are doing from A to Z.
No, the only thing it's important to say though is that this is a long-term strategy. If you only provide liquidity in short period of time, you might end up with less than what you invested because of impermanent loss. But if you do it on like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or even 6 months, you will see your balance increase nearly steadily. And from the researches we made, we have seen that this is way more profitable than just holding a coin, for example.
اوكي، فيقول ان هاي الفرايجولا البرودكت مالهم هو مخصص حق المستثمرين المدى البعيد، عشان ما تخسر في انت قاعد تقدم سيوله في خطوره، بس عشان تقلل الخطوره لازم يكون في بالك ان انا بحطه حق كم شهر. هم سووا ريسيرش مع ثيرد بارتي، شركه ثانيه، وبين لهم ان اذا تتيود الكوين او تحط سيولتك في عندهم على المدى البعيد، دائما تقديم تعطي السيوله بيدخل لك ارباح اكثر من بس تيود العمله. فهاي مو بزين حق اللي يضربون او فليبينج او هالاشياء يعني. Okay, so next question is, so DeFi are risky by design. Can you give us like a brief of the team efforts in minimizing risk for the platform? Like what security measures that have been done?
So we currently have been audited by 2 different firms, Quantstamp and Certora. Certora did something called formal verification, which is basically a mathematical checking of the contracts to see that everything works. We have done those, which are really important because, of course, you always want other people to look at your code and make sure that it's safe. But most importantly, we have opened what's called a bug bounty program. using the platform called Immunify, which is really, really important for us, where we basically put our code in there and said, if you think you can hack it, let us know, we will pay you, and we will try to fix it. This way, if you are an hacker and you want to steal a lot of funds from Popsicle, and if you do it, you're going to need to wash those funds, of course, because those are money obtained illegally. While this way, if you're an hacker and you find a way to beat us, basically, to steal our funds, you can just let us know. We will pay you. I don't remember the exact price right now, but I think it's way above $500,000. We will pay you, and you will simply need to report us the bug, and you will get clean money, and we will improve, and the whole ecosystem is better as a whole, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. Immunify is amazing. That is true.
And just last thing, we're always looking for new auditing firms, but it's really difficult to find firms that are available right now because they're all packed until like 2023. just that.
اوكي، فهو انا سالته السؤال شنو الاشياء، لان ديفاي هو في خطوره عاليه، اوكي، لانه هو بالنهايه كنا برامج، البرامج فيهم باجز وكذي، فممكن تخترق بالهاكرز. فقلت له شنو الاشياء اللي سويتوها عشان تخففون هالمخاطر يعني؟ فقال لي في 3 شركات مدققه شافوا الكود وقالوا ان كل شيء تمام، ما في اي مشكله فيه، وبعد عندهم برنامج بانتي بروجرام، يعني حاطين مكافاه عاليه حق اي هاكر ممكن يكتشف باج ويكافئونه بهالجائزه. فهاي الاشياء اللي سواها عشان يخلونا يعني أأمن من المعتاد يعني. وأضيف بعد شيء واحد، عندهم بعد انشورنس، تقدر تضيف انشورنس على المبالغ اللي حاطها في البلاتفورم، وتدفع في السنة شيء مبلغ بسيط 2%، والنسب اللي بتحصلها أصلا يمكن فوق 50% حق براويكم في الدمو. So yeah, quick last question before we move to Abracadabra. Which will be 2 questions in one, but what's coming in the next 3 months for Popsicle?
So yeah, we're still trying to improve Fragola, of course, because when you're working in this sector, there's always new opportunity and there's always new challenges to face, and if something gets broken, you need to fix it right away. So we want to focus on improving Fragola. Then we want to ship a Limone, which will be another kind of LP optimizer that will work in a completely different way. Basically, you just give us the token, and we not only choose the best possible DEX on which you are providing liquidity, but we will also choose the chain on which is more profitable to you to provide liquidity. That's going to be really important. And lastly, which is something that we are really focusing on right now, it's the concept of just-in-time liquidity. Now, I don't know how much I can tell you about just-in-time liquidity because it's a really broad topic, but basically just-in-time liquidity takes a flash loan and provides liquidity exactly in the range on which a big trade is happening, taking all the trading fees. And if we manage to get it done properly, we can not only improve Fragola, we can also get a whole new product that will just focus on reducing slippage for huge trading orders on different on units of V3, and get all the trading fees for that order, which is extremely profitable, and it's something that we're really excited on, but it's going to take a little bit of time, of course, because we want to make sure that it's safe and that nothing can go wrong, basically.
I'm very excited about this just-in-time liquidity, because you actually don't need a lot of TVL to capture all the fees now.
Exactly, which is great, absolutely great. And the fact that we can put just-in-time liquidity when we change the range in which Fragola is providing liquidity would allow us to start accepting even less liquid pools, and therefore making way more fees. But yeah, that's really exciting. I agree.
And so you didn't mention Limone, so is it not expected to be done soon?
Limone is the cross-chain LP optimizer that I talked about. Right now, it's still being developed and everything, but we want to focus on just-in-time liquidity faster and as soon as possible, because that is a market that doesn't have many players on right now, and if we can get it done faster, it will hugely increase the revenues of the platform and the protocol. So yeah, both things are moving more or less at the same time, but just-in-time liquidity is right now more important in our view, basically.
alright. فأنا سألته شنو الأشياء اللي بيضيفونها أو بيطورونها في المنصة في ال3 أشهر القادمة، فقال لي الحين تركيزهم في كونسبت جديد اسمه just in time liquidity. يعني شنو؟ يعني أنت بتعطي السيولة في لحظة معينة بس. الفكرة شوي معقدة بس باختصار يعني إذا شوف تخيل واحد ويل عنده ملايين يبي يسوي تريد ضخم في منصة غير مركزية، مثلا نقول سوشي سواب مثلا أو يوني سواب. أو أول ما يسوي في إيثيريوم مثلا سوى السواب يبي يسوي هالتريد، طبعا يبين في البلوك تشين انه هو سوى هالترانزاكشن. فالجاست ان تايم ليكويديتي يعني كأنك تاخذ كأنه يبارو سيوله عشان تدخل السيوله في اللي يسمونه المنصه وتاخذ كل الفيز من هالويل. فهو بيكون حق الحالات معينه، الحالات اللي قاعد يتداولون بمبالغ عاليه، بدل ما انت تستخدم سيوله اليوزرز تقدر تاخذهم حق فتره بسيطه وتاخذ كأنك تخم كل الريفينيو من الهاي. وشيء ثاني قال في شيء اسمه ليموني، كنا تخيل فراغولا بس بيكون كروس تشين او مالتي تشين. تحط السيوله هو بحركه بين كل تشين، سولانا، ايثيريوم، باينانس سمارت تشين، عشان يدور لك احسن ارباح لك وانت قاعد. وهاي بالنسبه لي هاي اهم برودكت في بوبسيكل، لان كل واحد اذا الناس اللي داشوا في ديفاي يعرفون انه لازم يتنقلون من موقع لموقع، من تشين الى تشين، نتورك لنتورك، بريدج تو بريدج. هم بيختصرون لك كل هاي، انت تدخل فلوسك هم بيحركونها ويودونها الى احسن مكان اعلى نسبه ربح لك. Follow-up question for Limone is actually from my side, because since it's cross-chain and funds will move between bridges, chains, dexes, and I think that will compound risks. And I wanted to know, it will, and by compounding risk, it might make it one of the riskiest platforms or products. So, are there any precautions thoughts about to minimize this counterparty risk?
One of the main reasons why it's taking so long to develop Limone is exactly to make sure that the bridges are safe. We usually use AnySwap bridge, but we need to make sure that they are safe and that they are ready to handle tens of millions of dollars of transactions, maybe multiple times a day. Who knows? It will depend on the market. So that's why we want to take things slowly and make sure that things are safe before shipping anything. That's of the utmost importance for us. Our main goal is to make safe things, because otherwise you can have the best product in the world, but if it gets hacked, you're simply going to lose funds, and we definitely don't want that. And that's why we're focusing so much on security for all our projects, to be honest, not only for Popsicle. Like, all of our projects are as secure as possible in terms of what we can do, and we always look for improving them, basically.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. أنا سألت أن اللي يحركون يعني المستخدمين، سيولة المستخدمين من تشين إلى تشين، يعني قاعد يزيدون خطورة على المبالغ إنه ممكن يتهكر. فهو قال من كذي قاعد ياخذون راحتهم عشان يدققون، يعني يخلون الشركات تدقق على الكود، يعني ماخذين راحتهم عشان اللي يسوون لانش متأكدين إن كل شيء تمام. ومرة ثانية أذكركم, again I will repeat that there is actually insurance for Popsicle. So
there is.
Yeah, so you can use insurance if you want to play it safer. It's only 2% a year, and when you see the APR later, I will show you in the demo, you can see that it's nothing compared to what you are getting.
Yeah, right. Insurance is really helpful. The only thing is that you need to have quite large sums, because if you're investing only, I don't know, 5K USD, and you try to invest those, maybe purchasing the insurance has a gas fees cost, and that gas fees cost is really is quite big. So it makes sense if you have large capitals, and or at least middle large capitals, let's say above 10, 15K, because otherwise we're trying to work as much as possible towards off-chain insurances so that we can avoid having users paying gas fees or having those gas fees brought to other chains. So we can, so even people who have less capital will be able to actually afford them.
Yeah, that makes sense. فاي كنت اقول له عن الانشورنس، فقال ان مشكلته انه في جاس فيز، فغالبا حق الناس اللي عندهم فلوس اكثر بيستفيدون منه حاليا، بس يعني النسبه من قليله، يعني 2% تقريبا. Okay, so we took some extra time in Popsicle, so let's move to Abracadabra now. So I mean, for Abracadabra, actually, the concept is much easier because everyone knows what borrowing money is. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's a reason why a lot of people are interested specifically in Abracadabra. So give us an overview about this, please.
So as you said, Abra is a lending platform that allows us to take collateral from users and issue a stable coin called Magic Internet Money that will that they can borrow, basically. What is the main difference between Abra and something else like MakerDAO, for example? Abra has something called isolated lending markets. Now, this happens because we use a technology called Kashi, which has been developed by the SushiSwap team, and we have licensed, that allows us to take isolated lending markets, like having isolated lending markets, basically. What does this mean? Let's say that you are borrowing DAI from Maker, and you're providing Bitcoin as collateral. Now, let's say that Ethereum drops a lot and Bitcoin doesn't. As they don't have isolated lending markets, your Bitcoin, despite not having dropped, might be liquidated because they are into a basket of goods that are backing that stablecoin.
Yeah.
On Abra, on the other hand, if you're providing Ethereum as collateral or actually you're in Ethereum, not exactly Ethereum, on Abra, and you're borrowing MIM, and let's say the price of Bitcoin crashes, and the price of Ethereum stays the same, which is quite impossible, but let's say that this happens, you can't get liquidated because the only price that will matter for liquidating your position is the price of the asset you are actually providing as collateral to, which is really, really great for small tokens. Like we have been able to accept Shiba Inu and OM as collateral because we know that the only risk that this brings to the backing of the stablecoin is based on how much how much meme we're putting in that market to be able to be borrowed, which is great, which is really, really important, and it's a great piece of technology.
Yes, exactly. That's the most important part. فارس، أنت شنو أبركادابرا باختصار؟ يعني نفس البنوك أنت تقدر تاخذ قرض، بس عشان تاخذ القرض أنت بترهن شيء، بتحط مثلا عملة عشان تاخذ القرض. عاد شنو ميزة أبركادابرا مقارنة بالمنصات الثانية اللي تقدر تاخذ فيها قرض؟ الشيء المهم فيها اللي هو قال الحين هم اللي ياخذون اللي تاخذ قرض، انت بيعطونك نفس ستيبل كوين، نفس USDC، بس اسمه ميم ماجيك انترنت اوف ماني. يعني هو بيجد تو $1 عشان يخلونه بيج تو $1. استخدموا يسمونها تكنولوجيا في سوشي سواب. شوي بعقدكم شوي، بس يعني عشان اعطي حقه واشرح لنا الحين. في ميزه انك تقدر تحط كل كوين بروحه عشان ليه تصير مثلا خلينا نقول طاح السعر وايد، بدل ما تصير ليكويديتد كل العملات اللي عندك بيكون بس عمله واحده. اللي يلعبون في الفيوتشرز ولا بريبيتشوال فاهمين هالنقطه. تقدر تحط انت كولاترال ايزوليتد او ان كلهم ويا بعض. فباختصار يعني ميزته ان تقدر تاخذ قروض نسبه الفوائد وايد قليله، وفي نفس الوقت الريسك مالها اقل. يعني هاي باختصار شديد. Okay, so let's say if one of the members is interested in using Abracadabra, is there like a realistic scenario for a small retail trader or investor that would benefit him from using it?
Yes, so it depends how small it is, and depending on how small he or she is, he can use Abracadabra on the chain he most like. So let's say that I don't have much capital and I want to focus on something like Memo. I don't know if you have heard of it, but it's a rebasing token of one. It's a rebasing token of Wonderland. Yeah. So if you want to maximize your return on Memo, you can avoid staking it and you can put it into Abracadabra as collateral and leverage it up. When you leverage things up on Abracadabra, you get something called leveraged yielding farm. What does this mean? It means that if the token price goes up, and as most of the tokens on Abra are interest-bearing tokens, their price will always go up compared to the base token they lie underneath. You can actually get higher returns using Abra, which is really, really cool, and it's something that we have only started scratching the surface of it, because one of the things that's coming next for Abra is the integration of Abra and Popsicle, allowing people to leverage up their optimized LP tokens, being able to increase their returns by a factor of 2.5, 3.5, 4x. It's something that can easily be done.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most amazing thing about Abracadabra. So فأهم شيء حق انت كاستخدامك، انت كشخص عادي عندك عملات حاطهم في محفظتك او في الاكسشينج، ليش بتستخدم ابراكادابرا؟ احب اختصر لك الكلام كامل. في ستيكينج، كلكم تعرفون ستيكينج، تحط عملتك تصكها في مكان وتحصل نفس نسبة ربح. لا مثلا اللي احد سمع عن سوشي، تقدر تحط سوشي تصكه يعطونك اكس سوشي وتحصل نفس نسبة ربح، او حتى ايثيريوم تقدر تصكه وتحصل نسبة ربح. الحين ميزة ابراكادابرا انك تقدر تاخذ هالعملة اللي قاعد تحصل لك انت اوريدي ارباح وترهنها في ابراكادابرا وتاخذ عليها قرض. شلون يعني كنا الرهنك اللي حاطه قاعد يزيد سعره وانت قاعد تاخذ عليه بعد فلوس. اذا نقارنه بالواقع الصجي، كأنك انت عندك بنايه مأجرها لكن رهنتها على البنك عشان تاخذ قرض، فكنا الرهن مالك قاعد يزيد بسعره لانه في ايجار له، والايجار انت قاعد تدفع سعر ايش يسمونه نسبه القرض الشهري، فكنا فري ماني. طبعا مو فري ماني، في وايد خطورات، بس يعني تقدر تفكرها بهالناحيه ان رهنه قاعد يزيد ويغطي نسبه ايش يسمونه القرض، فبس قاعد يكبر مع المده. اوكي.
So I have a question here. So Romy, a lot of people here know what spell is, but what does spell do? And between like spell and abracadabra, what's the correlation between both?
So spell is the governance token of Abracadabra, and it allows people to fee share. Well, what does it mean? You can get spell by farming it on our farms, by providing liquidity to different pairs. Usually there are ETH spell pairs or pairs that involve MIM to increase the liquidity of the token. Once you get spell, you can stake it on the website for S spell, which is, it works exactly the same as Sushi X Sushi if you are familiar with it, but it basically allows us to distribute all the fees made by the protocol to the stakers of S-Spell, which is great because it means that people can simply purchase the token, stake it, and see the value increase over time, as well as it gives people voting rights. So Abracadabra is a DAO. It means that the decisions are taken by the team members, but they are decided by the holders of the token. You can go on our forum, you can go on our snapshot page, and you will see that there are already different proposals. And once a proposal gets to the state, gets ready, basically, we publish it on Snapshot and we allow people which hold S-Spell to vote for it and therefore decide where the protocol is going. It's not the team who is deciding where we're going, it's the token holders. We are simply implementing what the decision of the people is, basically.
alright. فسأل مستر واي شنو فائدة سبيل، يعني وايد منكم شارين سبيل، فشنو سبيل وشنو فائدته؟ فرامي جاوب ان سبيل اول شيء تقدر تصوت عشان التوجيه المنصة الى وين، يعني اذا في نفس بروبوزل فريقهم قال ان نبي نسوي مثلا كذي انت تصوت تأيد ولا لا. هاي اول فائده. ثاني فائده انت تاخذ نسبه من الريفينيو او الارباح مال البلاتفورم المنصه ترجع لك. عاد شلون تحصل هالارباح؟ اذا انت حاطها في سنترلايز اكسشينج او منصه مركزيه انت ما قاعد تحصل ارباح. يعني اذا انت حاط سبل لك في اف تي اكس ما قاعد تحصل ارباح، لازم تحولها الى المنصاتهم هم، تسوي لها ستيك او كأنك يعني تصكها هناك، وعقب نسبه من الارباح بتجي لك انت، عقب تقدر تطلعها اي وقت تبي. All right. One question from Ala. Okay, he asked the spell ban. If spell will be banned, how it is beneficial when you ban an allocated spell?
So basically, what we are doing with the spell burn is decreasing the total supply. When you're decreasing the supply of a coin, you are inherently increasing the value of everybody else who owns it, right? So as in the past few weeks, our main goal right now with Abra is to bring spell emissions to zero, because the less spell we inject in the market, the more valuable the spell that everybody else owns, and therefore just is more beneficial for the holders. So we have realized that there's a lot of tokens that we have managed not to issue that are still there, and we don't know what to do with it because we don't want to use it for marketing purposes because we don't need it. We don't want to incentivize any more pairs because our pairs are liquid enough right now. So that's fine. So we made up a proposal and we said, we think that the best thing to do right now with these things is just burn them. Let's burn them and let's increase the value of everybody else's tokens. What do you guys think? And the proposal passed yesterday. Actually, nobody voted against it, which is great because I wrote the proposal. So I was really happy to see that it was approved. And therefore, on the 3rd of January, I believe, I need to double check, but I think it's the 3rd of January, we will burn 5.25 billion spell. And which is going to be beneficial for all the other holders because there's less tokens in circulation. This happened already once. It's really, really cool. And maybe in the future we could also automate this process. So if the protocol makes, I don't know, $5 million per week of revenue, 2 million of those could be used to buy back spell and burn them. It's something that can be done. We're not sure. We still need to explore that possibility.
alright. فالسؤال كان ان ايش فائده حرق العملات اللي يصير في سبيل. يمكن شفتوا سمعتوا اخبار انه يحرقون. ف يعني اختصر لكم، يبون يقللون السبلاي او يعني كميه السبيل اللي في السوق. كل ما تقل كميه السبيل في السوق يكون في اقل سيوله. كل ما يكون اقل سيوله اي بيع يحرك السعر وايد. يعني هاي باختصار شديد كذي. Okay, so because we took a bit of extra time in the questions part, so let's go and open for the audience to ask the questions. اي واحد يبي يسال بتشوفون في ايكون يد تحت، ضغطوا عليها بسوي لكم accept. تقدرون تدشون فوق هنا عندنا وتسالون السؤال. تقدرون تسألونه بالعربي وانا بترجمه او تسألونه دايركتلي بالانجليزي. Anybody can come, raise your hand down, you will see the icon. I will accept it, invite you, and you come here and ask the question. Okay, I will start with Madi. I invite, all right.
Ciao, nice to meet you. Ciao, Madi. Hi.
Hello. I can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Okay.
Wait, what about now, guys?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, hello, Romy. How are you?
Hi, man. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Yeah, I'm good. So I have a question about spell and abracadabra. So if you remember in March 2020, where there was the biggest, like very big dip with all the COVID news, in which MakerDAO faced a big issue with liquidations because the price of Ethereum was dropping too fast, that the positions could be liquidated before they became under collateralized. So
I most surely remember that. Absolutely.
Yes.
I still have it fixed in my mind.
Yes. So I was thinking, is there a solution with magic internet money for that issue, where if a price dips too fast, that there's no time for the block to be under collateralized.
Yeah, so it's for sure a difficult topic, meaning that every blockchain-backed stablecoin will need to have some kind of exposure to that risk. The thing that we are doing right now, mainly two. One, we have really efficient bots that allow to easily liquidate position as much as the liquidation price is taken, and all of our assets, all of our meme are overbacked, meaning that when you hit your your liquidation price, the position is still not underwater. There's at least a 30% drop more on volatile assets before the position becomes underwater. And that 30% allows us to most safely handle all of these liquidations. We have seen two big crashes in the past 6 months or so. And for both of those times, we never been underwater. The bots worked perfectly. There has been some small issues every now and then, given by the fact that the price of meme maybe was fluctuating a lot because of some difficult stuff. I don't want to get too much into it, but it can happen that we have some issues. But as of right now, we never had big issues around it, and we have never been. And the second things we're doing, we're exploring off-chain liquidations, meaning getting ready parties who are willing to buy positions as soon as they are able to be liquidated. So let's say that somebody deposits 20 million worth of XSushi in the platform. If the price of sushi drops dramatically, it might be difficult to liquidate $20 million of XSushi because it's not a super liquid token. But if there's someone else who is willing to buy that 20 million tokens at a particular price, at a set price, what do? They just tell us, yo, we want to do it. And as soon as the price hits, we do an OTC trade and we liquidate them like this, which is really, really efficient. It's something that we are exploring in these weeks because we really want to make sure that liquidations are run smoothly and everything works. As of right now, we never had issues, but better be prepared than avoiding problems. You see what I mean?
Great answer. You already answered my follow-up, which was about off-chain as a solution for this problem, but you already answered it, so thank you. Great answer.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. Question, pretty technical and great. All right. And next, أنا هاي ما بترجم لأن الصراحة it's too technical. فإذا أحد يبي يعرف شو السالفة نقدر نكلم يعني بالكتابة بنكتب لكم بعدين. Okay, next guy Thunder Wolf, I invited you. Please accept.
Thunder Wolf.
Okay.
Let's move to the next one.
Ali Yasin, invited. Accept.
Hello?
Hey there. Ciao.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
Good.
I'm good, alhamdulillah. So my question is, what are the current and future plans and strategies for Spell, and why would I invest my money in Spell?
So say again the last part. How do you invest your money, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so to buy Spell, there's different ways. You can either buy it on a SEX, so on a centralized exchange like FTX, Huobi, Bitfinex.
No, the question is actually why, not how.
Why? Sorry. Well, of course, our main goal is to turn MIM into the stablecoin of the future. We want it to be cross-chain, and our main goal is to take over DAI Spot as the go-to place for decentralized stablecoins. So, as you all know, the more memes we issue and the more people take loans, the more fees are going to be produced by the platform. And as a Spell is a fee sharing mechanism, what I would recommend you, I don't recommend anybody investing because I can't do it actually, but the reason why I'm holding Spell personally is because I really think that this ecosystem is going to blow up in the next few months. And I'm here for the long term. So I'm just buying as many Spell as I can and as many ICE as I can with my current resources and just stack them and wait to see how the market goes. I personally think that right now there's a really high demand for stablecoin because people are trusting less and less centralized institutions. So if I had to make a guess, I would probably guess that this is one of the areas of DeFi that's gonna gloom the most, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, as long as there's growth opportunities and whatnot, it sounds, promising. And I did like what you actually said, so thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question, yeah.
All right,
Next question.
Next one. Pizza is sweet. I invited you. طبعا إذا تبغوا تسألون السؤال بالعربي عادي يعني أنا بترجم له.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. How are you guys?
Fine. How about you?
I'm good. I just have two questions. One question is about Wonderland and memories. How is there a possible way to like, for example, with OHM you have Geom, you can 9-9 with memories using a strategy where I'd say take wrap memo and deposit that in Abracadabra through get mem and then reinvest. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can leverage up memo. We actually I think as soon as we launched the memo market, we had the chance of leveraging up. So you can just come to Abracadabra with your memo tokens, wrap them into WMemo, and then use WMemo to either borrow meme or leverage up and go 9-9. It's
Okay.
you can do it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of technically the same way how you do it with OHM, Geom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too familiar with Geom because we used to accept WSOM, which was
It's
the
the
first
same.
wrapper. It's the same thing. It works the same.
Yeah, it's just governance OM. So like how you explained with Spell that you could have voting.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just hold Geom and you can vote on the proposals.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as WMem.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Exactly same thing. You can just you provide it as collateral. You borrow meme. You swap those for more memo in this time. In this case, you stake time for memo and you wrap memo for WMemo. You 9-9.
Okay.
Same thing.
Very nice. And my second question is about ICE, and I saw that there is the native token ICE has another version of it called NICE. Nice. I was wondering what is NICE?
Exactly the same thing as a spell, but for Popsicle. So it gives governance rights and it gives fee sharing of the protocol fees produced by Popsicle. Every time the fees are harvested, the fees produced by Fraggle are harvested, 20% are taken and are sent to a contract to get them shared with all the fee sharing for all the NICE holders.
Okay.
Actually, the percentage, it depends on the pool you're using, but it's either 10% or 20%. But it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same mechanism. It's used for governance and it's used for fee sharing. Same.
Okay, so you say I'd have spell and I should stake my spell to get the governance rights. Is that correct?
And exactly, and you get the fee sharing. So your S spell will be worth more and more spell over time. Same thing, your NICE will be worth more and more ICE over time every time we make a buyback.
Okay, thank you very much. This is very enlightening, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
My pleasure.
I will actually just quickly translate as question and answer about NICE because we skipped that.
Yeah, sure.
الحين حق الناس اللي شروا ايس ويبون يحصلون نسبة ربح من المنصة يدشون ينقلونه إلى إيثيريوم ويحطونه في المنصة بوبسيكل بتتحول ايس إلى نايس وهاي عبارة عن ايسك لكن مع الأرباح اللي قاعد تجي حق المنصة فأنت تحطه هناك وتحصل نسبة ربح حاليا مو بدقيقة بس مع الوقت بتصير أدق. Okay, there was one question in public chat. XQ asked, is there any future plans to work with Thorchain?
Yes, I actually spoke with one of their mods. I think his name was Uncle Badger, if I'm sure. And we are the main issue is that we are super busy right now. We have a lot of protocol who want to collaborate. So what we're trying to do is decentralize the decision as much as possible. So more people can look at them and think, yeah, I like this, let's support this, or yeah, let's not do it. So yeah, we are looking into it in the future. It's not going to come short term, but it's going to sooner or later.
That's very big because our community is actually Thor chain maxis. So so this actually is very big news for me and for them also.
I really need to look into Thor chain more. I really need to take 1 hour of my time and just look into Thor chain, but it's so difficult with all the amount of things to do. It's crazy. Super. But yeah, I want to look into it.
Yeah, I will quickly translate that. فالسؤال كان إذا ثور تشين عندهم يعني مخطط إنه يكون في عندهم اتفاق مع ثور تشين. قال إيه، كلموا اوريدي أحد المودز وما بيكون شيء جريب، بس إيه في خطط إن شاء الله. فهاي يعني ألفا for Thor chain maxis. Okay, let's see the next one. Next speaker, Thunderwolf, you are back again. Maybe this time you can accept. You will see like a pop-up that's you can accept. بتشوف مكان تضغط accept. أنا سويت لك invite to speak. إذا تقدر تسوي accept. إيه أوكي.
Hi guys. Thank you for this class. Doom, can you translate my question because I didn't think I will explain it well. بالنسبة لمشروع بوبسيكل خاصية اللي فهمت الأخذ الريفينيو والفيز من الحوت اللي يبي ينفذ ترانزاكشن من سوشي سواب. مثلا في المستقبل لو طلعت شبكات مثل سولانا الغاز فيه قليل، فكيف بيواجهوا هذه المشكلة يعني؟
اوكي سؤالك صراحة قوي. اوكي Romy, he asked since we talked about liquidity, just-in-time liquidity, and that capturing fees and Fragula and whatnot. He was asking about in Solana the fees are low. So I think the question is actually like the mix of fees, like the gas fees and the trading fees. I think there is a mix between from the members here that's not differentiating between them.
No, I can. Yeah, basically there are two different kind of fees when you swap a token on a DEX. The first one are the gas fees. The gas fees are the amount of fees that the network requires to process your transaction. So, for example, on Ethereum, they're being really high for the past 6-8 months, and on Solana they've been really low because Solana it's a different chain. But of course, on Phantom, for example, fees are way lower. They're worth a few cents, while on Ethereum a normal swap can cost about $80 when fees are low. So that is one kind of fee that are called gas fees, and they go to the miners, the people who actually mine the block in the blockchain. The second kind of fees are the trading fees. Those are usually a fixed percentage, 0.05, 0.1%. It depends on the pool you're trading with, and they go to the people who provide liquidity for you to trade. So they don't go to the miner, and they go to the people who are actually providing liquidity. So on Solana, for example, you're going to pay really low gas fees, but you're still going to pay some trading fees, and those trading fees are going to go to the LPers on Solana. And that's why we're looking into moving to Solana as well.
Exactly. Thunderwolf, الجواب سؤالك إن في نوعين من
ما يحتاج الترجمة، فهمته.
فهمته؟ اوكي.
ايه thanks Romy.
اوكي تمام.
Pleasure mate. Pleasure.
حق الاعضاء الفيز اللي قاعد ياخذها او العموله اللي قاعد تدخل حق اللي يقدمون سيوله في بوبسيكل هي التداول، مو بالجاس فيز، بس هاي الديفرنشيشن. اوكي I think there's one last question because we took extra time from Romy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not exactly good at condensating things.
Blaze is beast. I invited you. Please accept. بتشوف في pop up تقدر تقبله. Okay, if not, I think Sam. Okay.
Okay, Blaze join.
Okay.
Hello, hi Romy. I'm Blaze and nice to meet you. Hi. Do marhaba. Mr. Rai, probably. Okay, so my question is, we've been hearing from you right now all the good things. Okay, so I want to know how will you be able, and what are the risks that are expected to come what are the challenges that you're expecting to face, and how will you solve them? Like 2 or 3
For both,
challenges
for
you're expecting.
Popsicle or Abra?
Yes,
Which
please.
one?
For both.
For both of them? Okay.
You might find some
So
things in common, maybe some things that are
Yeah.
specific to each.
So one risk that is common for both of them is a smart contract risk, which is the one that we can focus more on, and which means that we need to make sure that the smart contracts are safe and that there's no way to hack them and to steal money. Now, as I said before, we are really focusing on that because it's something that we can actively change and actually work on to make our contract safe. So this is one risk. There's another risk which is based on external factors such as regulations coming from countries, I don't know, general macroeconomic trends that are going to make the whole market drop by a lot, and therefore if the whole market drops, people are not investing anymore, and if people are not investing, there might come a lot of different issues. You see what I mean? Then for specific for each project, I would say for Popsicle, the main risk is that some new kind of technology arrives and it does what we are doing right now. Now, I don't see this something quite possible because we are always on the front edge of this revolution. Like every time there's something new, as I told you with JIT, we jump right on it, and we want to make sure it gets adapted into Popsicle as soon as possible. So yeah, and for Abra, if I had to tell you a risk, I would probably say regulation and regulatory risks from governments that could ban stable coins and might try to regulate them excessively and therefore not making them useful for normal traders and users. Other than that, I don't really see big issues apart from liquidations, a lot of liquidations together, which again we're working on. So yeah, if you have any other risks that you have in mind, ask me, because maybe I didn't thought of them.
No, not at the moment. But one other question would be, maybe on the other side of the spectrum, from the user or from the investor side, what can he do to actually support the project and help the project through these risks, through the challenges, help make them project a better project, even for you as a moderator or as a part of the governance? What can we do to help you guys? So
I think the main thing you guys can do is take part in the community, discuss with people. If you have ideas, share them. Our mods will always listen to you, and if you have ideas, no matter if you have doubts, no matter if you think they're foolish, they're not. We are always taking feedback from the community, and we always want to listen to the community, what the community wants, and what are the community's ideas about it. And other than that, I would just say, keep using our protocols if you like them. Tell us why you don't like them, so we can improve and we can make them 100%. And the more people help us, the more hands we have working on this together, the better our products will be at the end, which is something that we really focus on.
All right, then. Thank you, Rami.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
We took enough time, more time than anticipated. I hope that was fine with you.
100%. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. I know you guys are very busy, so like an hour is a lot, but I appreciate you taking the time. They are all new and defined. I wanted them to be introduced to my favorite project. So yeah, thank you for taking the time.
If you have any other questions or if you have more doubt, just reach out to me on the other Discords or some more chat sometimes else. Okay, I'm always happy. More than happy.
Share the link of your Discord groups.
Sure, perfect. Just if you need them, I can send you. And pleasure, guys, to have been here. Thanks a lot for organizing this, and I can't wait to see you on
your time and effort.
Another Discord. See you. Enjoy the platform and take care, boys.
Take care.
See you. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Guys, we will start now the demo. We will not take much time. It will be 5 minutes in Popsicle and 5 minutes in Abracadabra. بنعطيكم نظرة سريعة لايف براكتيكال عملي على البلاتفورم عشان تفهمون تشبكون النظري مع العملي. عادة أخذنا وايد وسامحونا على هالشيء، بس بناخذ 5 دقائق عن بوبسيكل، 5 دقائق أبركادابرا. اللي ما يفتكر في العملي يقدر يعني يطلع، بس بنحول الى الشانل اللي تحتنا اسمه بلاتفورم ديمو. بسوي سكرين شير دشوا عليه. يلا حياكم تحت. نظام يدور الشباب. صوتي راح، حياتي راحت.
انطر بس في 20 واحد.
دقيقة واحدة. اوكي، ضغطوا علي، شوفوا دشوا على الستريم. اذا فول احد بالمودز بيسوي شير من عنده حق السكرين مالي، فيعني لا تهاتون. ومره ثانيه نفس الشيء، اي شيء تبون تتكلمون كتبوا في البابليك شات، لان هني انتم ميوتد. انا فاتح البابليك شات، اي سؤال عندكم سيروا بجاوبه لايف.
Just wait a second. اظن it's max users. So I need somebody needs to stream your stream.
اوكي.
اوكي. turn off your stream.
أنا؟
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, restream. I can't join for some reason.
تقدرون تدشون ولا في حد دش؟ خليني اشوف الشات.
Doom, can you hear me? Rani? Hello?
اي اسمعك. يقولون there is a limit. leave the VCN. close the stream. leave the VCN رجال. اوكي خليني اشوف. دقيقة واحدة بطلع بعدش. ما ادري اذا احد منكم لحق من الادمنز.
How many viewers do you have?
50 فول. في احد لحق من الادمنز عشان يسوي الستريم؟ ما حد قاعد يلحق. اوكي. اوكي بصدق بعد واحد. اكيد يا يلا 1 2 3. في هاي 7 اكس زد اس ار جي. تقدر تدشون على اللي فوقي بعد اذا فول مالي، بس يكون نفس الستريم حق سرج. اوكي والله انا
تعرف ولا انا اوكي الحين قاعد اشوف.
اوكي تمام. اذا كلكم تشوفون هاي موقع شبه تجي موقع بوبسيكل. في واحد بس. اوكي اول شيء طبعا بيكون عندك ميتا ماسك. اللي ما يعرف شلون يسوي ميتا ماسك احنا يعني بيكون بنعلمكم بعدين عليها. بس الحين اللي عنده محفظه نفس ميتا ماسك بس عادي تشبك كأنك في اي موقع. كونكت. الحين تدشون في البرودكتس. الحين البرودكت مالهم نفس ما قلنا عندهم اللي شيء يسمونه فرايجولا، اللي هو عباره عن يستخدم السيوله مالتك، العملات اللي تبي تقدمها كسيوله هم يتحكمون فيها عشان يجمعون لك اكثر فيز ممكن. الحين بتشوف هني فوق حاطين مثلا سبيل وايث تقريبا بتحصل 400% نسبة ربح بدون شيت كوين، يعني صافي من التريدينج فيز. يعني هال 400% انت قاعد تحصلها في سبيل وايث. بنعطيكم مثال، يعني اسهل مثال ممكن تشوفونه اليو اس دي سي ويو اس دي تي. يعني شنو ستيبل كوين وستيبل كوين؟ الحين خلينا نقول عندك انت يو اس دي حاطها عندك في المحفظه او في باينس مثلا، تقدر تحطه هني تقدمهم كسيوله يستخدمونها الناس عشان يتداولون. انت ما قاعد تسوي شيء، ما قاعد تتداول ولا شيء، لكن لان قاعد يتداولون انت قاعد تحصل ايش يسمونه نسبه الربح من الفيز. فهاي 30% طبعا ما بيكون ثابت، لان هو يعتمد على ايش كثر كميه التريدنج اللي قاعد يصير في هالاسبوع. فمثلا الحين تشوفون ان كل من قاعد يحاول حق خايف لا، فيحاولون حق ستيبلز او يعني هذا اليو اس دي سي يو اس دي تي. فبتشوف يعني نسبه الربح، اذا ما ادري اذا واضحه عندكم ولا لا، بتشوفونها يعني 30% حق ستيبل كوين شيء خيالي. وين تحصل؟ احنا في البنك 0.00001% في السنه، والناس متخرعين عليها لا، والى اللي طالعين فيها ما يوصلون 1%. فهني تستفيد من هالمنصات. اذا عندك مثلا عملات ثانيه عوده، طبعا احنا قلنا هاي حق المدى الطويل. اذا عندك مثلا ايثيريوم مياوده وعندك ستيبل كوين، انت شفت والله الاي بي ار فوق 90%، خلينا نسوي له جوين. تي هني حد بسيط، هو مسوي الموقع يسهل لك. يعني انا بالنسبه لي اصلا بوبسيكل موقعه اسهل من ابراكادابرا. بتشوف في شيء اسمه زاب، يعني حتى ما يحتاج تعب روحك تحول العملات الى عملتين. تختار اي عمله. انت عندك مثلا ستيبل كوين، تاخذ ستيبل كوين تقطه كامل ماكس جوين، خلاص برينتنج ماني، قاعد تحصل كل الفيز. وهو بروحه بياخذ الستيبل كوين مالك بيقسمه الى ايثيريوم وستيبل كوين، وبيتحكم في يسال 7x SRJ اذا صوتك عندكم.
That's fine.
اوكي. فعندكم يعني ما يحتاج انت تسوي اي شيء، تبدل او اي شيء. تقدر تجي هني تشوف في اللسته، شفت الكوين اللي تعجبك حق مدى طويل. مره ثانيه هاي مدى طويل يعني حق كم شهر، مو بحق اسبوع. انت مثلا تقول انا ما ببيع ايثيريوم حق سنه، تدش وتحصل 50% وفوق. انا عن نفسي داش ايثيريوم يو اس دي سي مثلا. ذي باختصار بوبسيكل. نحاول الابراكادابرا، هذا سبيد رانينج لان شوي تاخرنا. في ابراكادابرا الحين خلنا نشبك.
المقصد من هاي كلها معظم الناس يستخدمون باينانس ستيكينج او يستخدمون اف تي اكس لند اللي يعطونك يمكن 4% الى 10%. الريل دي فاي بروتوكولز معظم الناس ما قاعد يستخدمونه، لان اول شيء الاوبورتونيتي احسن هناك، وفوق هاي كلها يعني ما في وايد ناس يعرفون عنه. فالاوبورتونيتي في الدي فاي بروتوكولز وايد احسن.
بالضبط. طبعا في خطوره انه هو لان دي 5 ممكن يتهكر وتنباق، بس نفس ما قلنا في انشورنس، تقدر تاخذون تامين على العملات اللي حطيتوها. فحتى لو يعني تشوف انت شفتوا الحين مثلا نسبه لا، يعني 50% حق ايث يو اس دي سي، وتقدر تاخذ انشورنس تامين ب 2%، فكنا بيبقى لك 50% ربحيه صافي. بعد يعني ايش تبي اكثر من كذي؟ you can't go out before the contacts you have, right? Or you can go out for selfies. You can go out anytime. There is no lock. You can enter, you can leave anytime. But for the best performance, حق أحسن أداء, it's mainly targeted for long-term investors, so that you don't lose your money. اوكي ليتس. طبعا يو تقدرون تسالون، انا بشوفهم بعدين، بس عشان نحاول الابراكادابرا ونخلص. انا ادري ناس وراهم دوام باكر وما ادري جامعه مدارس ما ادري، فنخلص ابراكادابرا. انتم تسالون انا بجاوب عليكم عقب شوي. فابراكادابرا انت تاخذ قرض باختصار، لكن عشان تاخذ قرض لازم تحط ترهن شيء مكانه. ميزته ان تقدر تحط رهنك شيء اوريدي يدخل لك فلوس. شنو يعني تخيلوا الحين هني في البوبسيكل راويتكم ان تقدر تحط انت فلوسك في ستيبل كوين يو اس دي تي تحصل 30% لا تقريبا. تقدرون تحطون هاي الشيء اللي انت دخلتوه السيوله، تقدرون تدخلونها هنيك ترهنونها، فكنا الرهن مالك او الكولاترال قاعد يدخل لك فلوس باسيف انكم، وفي نفس الوقت قاعد تقترض فلوس عشان تشتري الشيت كوينز اللي يعجبونك. تخيل انت مثلا بولش اون ايثيريوم، اوكي ما تبي تبيعه بس ما عندك فلوس، تبي تشتري شيت كوينز، يعني ناس قاعد يقولون يلا دش ما ادري شنو، انت بتدش فتحط الايثيريوم مالك هني وتقترض ستيبل كوين مثلا يو اس دي، وتشتري الشيت كوين مالك باليو اس دي. انت للحين عندك الايثيريوم مالك، طبعا ممكن اذا السعر طاح وايد تصير ليكويديتد، بس يعني هاي سالفه ثانيه. فهني احنا مثلا نشوف كمثال، وطبعا هاي البلاتفورم في وايد تشينز، انت لا تشوفون ايثيريوم انه جاز وايد، في تشوف باينانس، فانتوم، هاي ثينوت، وافلانش، هاي كلهم اقل من $1 الفيز، واربيتيوم تقريبا $5. ايثيريوم شوي غالي بس يقدرون تستخدمون في اي تشين. مثال الحين على السريع مثلا بسوي لكم اف تي تي، انت عندك لا نبي شيء احلى، كيرف بول، يعني اوكي هاي شوي معقد اكثر، اكسوشي. يلا اكسوشي انت تحط رهنك مثلا ويعطونك مم اذا سمعتوا في الكلاس. خلينا نشوف what's the website we shall buy with. buy العملات you can buy the coins from centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges like FTX أو decentralized مثل سوشي سواب يعني. and you get your rewards at the same time. Yes, the rewards are fee based. It's automatically you are getting them continuously and it's getting compounded. فأنت قاعد تحصل الربح دائما، مو بأنه شهريا بينزل لك، لا قاعد يدشون عليك بالثانية ويدخلونها في العملات اللي انت داش فيها، فكنا يتراكمون على بعض يتضاعفون. فيعني باختصار لان شوي تاخرنا فانا بوقف هني، بس تقدرون تسالوني اذا عندكم اسئله. بس نفس ما تشوفون هني في الشاشه، هاي اهم شاشه، انتم بتدخلون المبلغ اللي تبونه مثلا عشان تصكونه وتاخذون مم هو الستيبل كوين مالهم، تاخذ مم وتحوله الى اي ستيبل كوين، تشتري اي عمله تبيها، وللحين عندك الرهن مالك ما بعته. فهاي
يعني مثال اذا تشتري سبل يمديك تخليه اسبل، واسبل تاخذ ام وام يو ترانسفير تو يو اس دي، ويو اس دي تقدر تشتري عمله ثانيه مثال يعني، ولحين يكون عندك سبل.
بالضبط يس. مثلا يعني براويكم بعد الانشورنس على السريع قبل ما هاي، نفس ما قلت لكم في تامين. انت مثلا داش في بوبسيكل تبي تامن، حاطين لك هني تدش هني الموقع، تشوف بوبسيكل يبين لك هني 2.6 في السنه عشان تغطي عملاتك في داخل، عن اذا مثلا تهكر او شيء يرجعون لك فلوسك. يعني شوف يعني رخيص نسبيا، حتى ابركادابرا هني تشوفونه 2.6. اي واحد يقدر يدش ياخذ مثلا انت تبي تدخل 10 ايث في بوبسيكل، فبتقول انا بسوي كفر حق 10 ايث، زين حق شهر واحد، انت بس تدخله حق شهر واحد، هنا بيقول لك بتدفع عند 0.02 عشان تسوي له كفر المبلغ كامل. لو تهكر والمبلغ كامل بيرجعون لك ال10 ايث وانت دفعت 0.02. فهاي ميزه التامين. نفس الشيء حق ابركادابرا فيه. هل عندك اي استراتيجيات تنصح فيها للشيء ذي؟ ايه اكيد. يعني اذا نفس ما قلنا بوبسيكل، اذا تبي تستخدم بوبسيكل حق يعني هو مسوينه حق الناس اللي تفكيرهم مدى البعيد، ما بتدخل في عمله حق المدى القريب. مثلا هني بتشوف حاطين شيبا وايث، اوكي مين مينون بيحط سيوله شيبا ايث بيفلس لا. فانا عن نفسي افضل ادش في الاشياء الكبار في هالاماكن، مثلا ايثيريوم. انا بالنسبه لي عندي ايثيريوم ام بولشان يعني، فادخل ايثيريوم ودولار ويدخل لي فلوس اي وقت اقدر اطالعه. ايثيريوم ما بتقوم باكر بيكون صفر، لا كذي يعني تفكر شنو العمله اللي انت صج يعني بولشون حق 6 شهور او اكثر وتقدر تدخلها هني. بس اجين المنصه ترى جديده فممكن الفرصه ان تتهكر عاليه، بس احنا الجول كان من اليوم ان نعلمكم شلون تكونوا مستخدمين لديفاي، مو بس تشترون العملات وتخلونها عندكم قاعده. انتم تشوفون الارقام الحين خياليه، لا يوم من الايام عقب 5 سنين بتشوفون هاي كلها بتصير 5-10%. فالناس اللي قاعد يستغلون هالوقت صح ريسكي اكثر، بس ما ما بتحصل نسبه الارباح بدون هالريسك. ابركادابرا الاستراتيجيه انك اذا عندك عمله ستيكت ناس مثلا اكسوشي، ليش ما تدخلها هني وتطلع نفس عملات دولار عشان تشتري اشياء ثانيه وانت حاطها ستيكت سوشي كذي. يعني البليز مال ابركادابرا والاستراتيجيات ان انت تدخل عملاتك في منصه ثانيه تجيب لك ارباح نفس ستيكينج، وهالستيكينج تدخله هني عشان تطلع دولارات. Okay, imagine a hacker on standby ready to hack and put a very big bag in Popsicle and also goes to make insurance on it. And then he hacks it. Easy double. True, not false. يلا هكرهم. وانا انت بتبقى فلوسي بعد معاهم.
بس
So what
مثل ما قال ان if you try to hack it everything is audited فcashing out is very hard اللي can be tracked. فهذا ايش قال عن الباونتي بروجرام. فاذا انت هاكر احسن لك تلقى البج وتسوي ريبورت ويعطونك $500,000.
بالضبط
يعني الباونتي البروجرام $500,000 اذا تلقى. فاذا اي واحد هاكر يدرس هاكينج هني يعني حاولوا صراحه
صح
نص مليون
تقدر تدخل
حلوة.
فلوس. يعني بدل ما تدورون اشغال في شركات دوامها 8 ساعات، اذا تطلع هالوقت تشوف الكود وتطلع لك $500,000 في يوم بعد زين. عمار يقول so what I understood the only risk is it's more likely to get hacked and with insurance you are safe. ايه ولا
Yes and no.
الانشورنس it doesn't cover everything. الانشورنس دائما يتلاعبون فيه انه ما يغطي كل شيء. فمثلا هني تشوفون احنا براويكم تشوفوا هني terms and conditions شنو كاتبين. الكفرد contract bugs economic attacks including oracle failures و governance attack. تعرفوا شنو مو موجود وتوا صار توه اذا سمعتوا عنه front end hacks. ممكن هاكر يهكر الفرونت اند مال بوبسيكل، فانت قاعد تشبك الميتا ماسك في الموقع صجي مثلا تشوفه او بوبسيكل فاينانس، بس في الصج هو متهكر، فانت قاعد تحط عملاتك في نسخه الموقع ثانيه. ايه هاي ما تتغطى، وكل يوم بتصير اشياء جديده التامين ما يغطيها. يعني انت تعرفوا التامين كله يعني فيها تلاعب وفيها تيرمز اند كونديشن. بس القصد انه لو عندك فلوس وتبي تكون سيفر ليش لا؟ مو بوايد. بس هل انه 100% سيف؟ لا. شوف ما في شيء اذا 100% سيف بتشوف الارقام هني 0.1%. ما يصير تحصل 100% APR في السنه وفي نفس الوقت 100% سيف. يعني ما ادري شو العقل لو كل من غني الحين. اوكي شوف احنا خلصنا طبعا فخلاص يعني تقدرون يعني تنامون تتعشون وانا اقدر اشرب
ما
ماي. بس
قصرتوا ويعطيكم الف عافيه واسمحنا
يعني
طولنا، وان شاء الله الاسبوع الجاي عندنا كلاس ثاني مع جاست جديد وبنعلن عنه قريب.
مفاجاه الاعلان يا جماعه، يعني بتحمسون له.